Good morning, friends. Greetings and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I use nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and sometimes deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your health and vitality and well-being and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body. You are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health challenge. That is why we are here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 32 years of practicing pharmacy, I have seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes, hypertension, obesity, skin diseases like psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, acne, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds. Recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle, but what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure, because the human biological system is a healing system, it's a regenerating system. It is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis. And while some folks may call that healing, renewing, regenerating system a miracle, it really is just the way the body works. If you have questions about health, nutrition, prescription drugs, if you want to wean yourself off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, we are here for you. We welcome your calls on The Bright Side at 844-236-6010, 844-236-6010. If you have questions about the longevity products, longevity business, formulations, ingredients, skin health questions, comments, success stories you like to share, which we love hearing, 844-236-6010 is our number on The Bright Side. If you want to purchase your longevity products, go to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. You can also call the phone team at 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470. Okay, we are back, and welcome once again to The Bright Side. We've been talking about the whole idea of energy in the body. We talk about supplements all the time and food all the time and dietary strategies and health strategies. But really, at the end of the day, when we're sick, it's an energy phenomena. It's all about energy. The body is an energy transducing system that it takes energy in one form and turns it into energy in another form so that cells can use it. That's what the digestive system does. That's why we're always talking about the digestive system. Food and nutrition are simply ways to get cells, which are the fundamental unit of life in the body. Food and nutrition are simply ways to get these cells the energy they need to do their work. That's why we eat. Now, I shouldn't say that. That's why we're supposed to eat. We actually eat for other reasons. We eat for brain reasons. But from a strictly biological, physiological body perspective, the job of food, the only job of food, is to provide cells, the unit of life, the fundamental unit of life, with the energy they need to do their business, whatever business that is. The food we eat is designed to provide muscle cells the energy they need to muscle, that is to contract and relax. The food we eat is designed to provide brain cells the energy to conduct electrical energy so we can think or move for that matter. Whatever cell you're talking about, whether it's a skin cell or a liver cell or a bone cell, it's designed to do its business, to be a skin cell, to do what skin cells do, or to be a liver cell, do what liver cells do, which is hundreds of different things. Cells do all these different things, by the way. They don't just do one thing. All these functions or behaviors require energy, and that energy comes from food, and that's what food's supposed to be. It's the digestive system that's responsible for turning food, in the macro sense, our hamburgers and our broccoli and our hot dogs and our butter and all the zillions of things we eat, into microscopic food, cell food, that the cell can use to produce and direct energy. Digestion is the link between what we do on a big scale, macro scale, and a small scale, a cellular scale. In other words, this digestion and food represent how our lifestyle, whether it's the food we eat or the supplements we take, the digestive system is the link between how our lifestyle affects our cells. It's the digestive tract, which runs from the mouth to the other end, that magically transforms people food into cell food. And then cells take that cell food and turn it into energy. The people food is basically the energy part of the people food is the protein, the fats, and the carbs. The protein and the fats and the carbs represent energy, pure energy. That's what they are. They are different forms of energy, but ultimately they're just energy. And then the protein and fats and carbs get processed in the digestive system. What's left behind gets to the cell. The cell turns the little building block components, the amino acids, the fatty acids, the simple sugars, into energy. And then it turns that energy into something called ATP. And then it uses that ATP. But it's all about the digestive system. Food is nothing but stored energy plus supportive directing cofactors. I take that back. Food is supposed to be nothing but stored energy and supportive cofactors. The supportive cofactors we call vitamins and minerals, the mighty 90 essential nutrients. Those are the supportive cofactors. The food is supposed to be nothing but stored energy and the mighty 90 essential nutrients. Today's food, and by today I'm talking about starting maybe 100 years ago, maybe more, maybe about 120, 130 years ago, today's food contains extra stuff that the body has to detoxify, that the body has to eliminate: flavor enhancers, texturizers, softeners, preservatives, none of which the body has any use for. That all has to be detoxified by the liver. I'm not going to get into that. That's another story for another time, but let's just say there's a lot more to the food we eat, unfortunately, than our body has use for. This is why it's important to eat stuff that's not processed, that's not heavily processed. And that includes heat, by the way, as heavily processed. So the three main energy components of foods: you got your carbs, you got your protein, you got your fat. The energy in these kinds of foods is measured by something called calories. Vitamins and minerals don't have calories. You're only going to find calories in the protein, the fat, and the carbs. Calories equal energy. A calorie is a unit of energy. Isn't it interesting? We always talk about calories, but nobody ever tells us what they are. You ever wonder how they measure a calorie? How do they know a banana has 60 calories or 70 calories or whatever it has in it? How do they know that a piece of apple pie has 500 calories in it? How do they know that a McDonald's hamburger or a McDonald's Big Mac has 600 or 700 calories in it? What the heck is that about? Calories, a unit of heat. It's a unit of energy that's measured as a unit of heat. And the way they determine how many calories are in a food is in something called a calorimeter, a calorie meter. This calorie meter is basically a piece of equipment. You put your food in the bottom of it, and then you burn the food, whatever food, your pizza, your hamburger, or your banana, or whatever it is. You stick the food in this little calorimeter, this little device, and then you burn it. And then there's a water on top of the place where you're burning the food, and depending on how fast or how much that water boils or how much heat that water takes, that's how they measure calories. So calories, technically the amount of energy it takes to raise the temperature of that water by 1 gram, to raise 1 gram of that water by 1 degree. So it's just a measurement of calories. Calories is just a measurement of how fast or how much it makes water boil, or water heat, I should say. And it's all measured in this device called a calorimeter. Calories, carbs have about 4 calories per gram. Protein has around 3 or 4 calories per gram. But with fats, we hit the energy jackpot. Fats have twice as much energy, over twice as much energy as protein or carbs, 9 calories per gram. So fats are the mother lode of energy. From an energy perspective, it's all about fats. The body loves fats. But, and this is a big but, because fats are so energy rich, they're also problematic. In nutrition, chemistry, when something has a lot of energy associated with it, it's good and it's bad. It's good because it's a great source of energy, and ultimately everything that happens in the body needs energy. So it's the jackpot, really. But all that energy can create damage if it's not handled correctly, which is why you'll hear nutritionists say avoid fats, especially super high energy fats like liquid vegetable oils. Liquid vegetable oils are super high energy, which is why you got to keep them in the fridge to kind of cool them down, to calm them down. And that's why you don't want to heat them. You heat them, you really amp up the energy. And that's where they become problematic. And this is where, by the way, nature comes to the rescue with things like vitamin E and phytonutrients, which act to calm the energy down that's in fats. Vitamin E is an antioxidant. It calms fats down. So you always want to use vitamin E when you're supplementing with essential fatty acids. And good essential fatty acid supplements will have vitamin E in there to calm the fats down because they're very unstable. I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back after this. are back on the bright side. 844-236-6010 is our number. We got a whole bunch of folks who want to talk to us here, which is a good thing. I love talking to you guys. I love my smart listeners on the bright side. We don't dumb things down on the bright side. We tell it like it is, and we go into the weeds here. It's not all that complicated, but the stuff I talk about on this program is not, it's coming out of my head based on research, based on my personal experience, based on my experience as a clinician, as a pharmacist, based on my laboratory experience. So the stuff you hear on this program is unique to me, unique to us on the bright side. And if you get it, you are truly advanced in terms of how you're handling your life and how you potentially are handling your life and potentially handling your health business. 844-236-6010 is our number. Got Sarah Salati at the bottom of the hour. She's going to talk about her enhanced external counter pulsation device. And I am a big believer in, at least conceptually, I haven't talked to anybody who's actually done it, but conceptually, it's really quite a really brilliant concept. If a little awkward, you get wrapped up in a pulsation device, and the pulsation and the machine pulsates your fluids, pulsates your muscles, counter pulsates it, actually, creating, I suppose, some kind of AC, alternative current through the body. That's got to be amazing for the electrical energy, the zeta potential of the fluid system. We'll talk to Sarah Salati at the bottom of the hour. We'll take your calls. 844-236-6010. Good morning, Jeff in California. What's going on, Jeff? Jeff, going once. Jeff, going twice. I hear you. Coming to the phone. What's up, Jeff? How you doing, man? Hello? Sorry to surprise you there. Jeff, are you there? Okay. Hello? Jeff, I'm only going to give you one more shot here, buddy. Got a whole bunch of people want to talk. Yes, I hear you. What's going on, Jeff?
Oh, Ben, how's it going? Oh, man, I'll be real quick. I have an unbelievable story of a success story. You're not even going to believe it.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I called you before. I'm the guy that was training to do a couple records for push-ups. And he told me to work on my OCD instead.
Okay.
I'm very obsessed about everything.
Okay.
My background real quick, I've been training for like 22 years, always in the mechanics of the body and everything. But I was getting real bored with that. And about a year and a half ago, I heard you on Coast to Coast, and you sparked an unbelievable OCD knowledge journey for me.
Oh, wow.
You were totally my mentor. I don't say that about hardly anybody. Year and a half ago, I started studying all my free time, hundreds of hours. I've listened to 4 or 5 of your radio shows a day, sometimes the same one 3 or 4 times. I've listened to 3.5 years of archives in a year and a half, all the critical health news articles, all the videos. And then I started studying biochemistry, physics, anatomy, physiology, nutrition, all this because you sparked all this in me. I'm very
That's
obsessed.
awesome.
I started reading Scientists, physics.org, reading autobiographies and all the great physicists of the 19th century.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm talking massive, hundreds of hours of knowledge, obsessively seeking knowledge. So, as you can imagine, 3.5 years of your show.
As only an OCD guy could do, by the way, probably. But that's good.
Yeah, totally. People think I'm crazy. So, you can imagine the knowledge I have after especially 3.5 years of show.
That's awesome. Awesome.
I have a friend. Yeah, I have a buddy of mine who has been, my friend Tim. This is so incredible. He's been suffering with seizures since he was 12 years old. For 37 years, he's been suffering with seizures. He's had 5 brain surgeries, 4 back surgeries. 4 years ago, he had a lung infection. The hospital removed his lung. He was going to have to go to 4 or 5 years ago to assisted living, and he's only 50, or he was like 47 at the time. He was going to have to go to assisted living because he wasn't able to be left alone, so he got a seizure dog. So he has a seizure dog. He speaks at schools. He speaks in front of Congress. He's on multiple scripts, as you could imagine. So, I mean, this guy has been through the ringer. He came to me 18 days ago, Ben. 18 days ago, guess what? Not seizure-free for 18 days. He was having 60 to 90 a month.
Holy mo! What'd you do?
Exactly what I did. Everything I've learned from you. Today's day 18. No seizures. He lost 25 pounds. He's working out. He feels great. It's almost like a miracle.
Okay, listen, Jeff. This is great stuff, and I'd love to sit here and talk to you, but I'm going to run out of time. Why don't you send me an email and let's talk, okay?
Do you want me to call you tomorrow? Because there's something I did that
Yeah. Will you call me tomorrow? I got a whole bunch of people I want to get to, but this is fascinating stuff. I don't want to leave people on hold, though. Will you call me tomorrow?
No problem. I'll call you tomorrow and explain exactly what I did.
I want to hear everything you did. I want to know everything you did for the seizures, okay?
You will not believe it.
Okay, so call. Actually, you know what? Call it. Can you call like on Thursday?
Thursday better?
Yeah, Thursday's better.
Yeah.
Call Thursday.
Yeah, I'll call on
and then
Thursday
send me
because all the listeners need to hear
actually
this.
give us. You know what? This is kind of important. Real quick. We got to go quick though. Give me a couple things. Actually, you know what? We'll do it on Thursday. Okay?
Yes, I will call you Thursday morning, first call.
Send me an email though. I know I can count on you because you got OCD. I love that.
Yeah, you sure can.
So send me.
Yeah,
send me an email.
I'll send you a quick. I'll send you a quick email today explaining.
Thank you.
I'll put in a headline.
Thank you.
Jeff Myers seizures.
Thank you. It's a great story. I can't wait to hear everything. All right, buddy.
Oh, you're going to be
Jeff.
shocked, Ben. Okay, thanks, Ben.
All right. I love that. That's awesome. All right. So that's what's possible, you guys. If you're dealing with anything that's chronic and your doctor's telling you you're going to be on your drugs the rest of your life and there's nothing they can do, the human body is unbelievably resilient. Understand this no matter what your health challenge is. All right, let's go to Spencer in Toronto. Good morning, Spencer. Welcome to the Bright Side.
Hi, Ben. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, man?
I had a couple questions. One about sun lamps, like if you have any specific recommendations for certain kinds of sun lamps. And
yeah, they're real easy to get. I highly recommend them, especially in Toronto in the wintertime, I guess. Is it pretty cloudy out there in the wintertime?
Yeah, and the sun's really weak, obviously. So
Yeah. So get yourself a broad I think they call them broad spectrum. I don't forget what the terms are. I forgot the term. I think it's called broad spectrum, but I'm not sure. And you want to have a good amount of illumination out of it. And you know what? I don't know. I have to look into that. There's a term for them, and I forgot the term for the good sun lamps. But yes, you definitely want to get a sun lamp. Absolutely.
Okay. Well, maybe if you could, if it comes to mind, maybe you could mention it on your show tomorrow. I will. I have a chance to call in.
I will. They're super easy to find. You can get them off Amazon for like $100, but they're super easy.
Okay, and the second question is I cut my finger and I needed 4 stitches and it became infected, so I'm on antibiotics for a week, but I was just wondering, other than like taking probiotics, is there anything else you recommend to do?
Fiber. Make sure you're getting enough fiber, small amounts of fiber, fermented vegetables, vegetable juices, and then stay away from anything like we're talking about these fermentation foods. I don't know if you heard us in the beginning of the program. Stay away from anything that messes up the gut bacteria. Absolutely.
Okay.
All right, buddy. Good to talk to you. Thanks. Good luck with that. And I'll look into that sun lamp thing for you. Let's go to Pam in Michigan. Oh, Pam, you know what, Pam? We only got 30 seconds. I don't know how fast you want to go here, but we're out of time.
Hey, Ben, how you doing? I just wanted to tell you that we appreciate your knowledge in biology and
Thank you.
Your natural health connection with the spiritual, mental, emotional alignment, to achieve better health.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
We've been following you for years, too, and I just want to get right to it. I have a 50-year-old active athletic male who's driving a motorcycle and a car pulled out, made a left-hand turn in front of him, and it shattered his right leg. He flipped over the vehicle and broke both of his knees. And
get him on nutrition ASAP. Bone broth protein, high hyaluronic acid, chicken broth, aloe vera, zinc, digestive enzymes, glucogel caps, branched chain amino acids, exercise. There's so many things you could do, and he should be doing every last one of them. So if you want, send me an email or give me a call, Pam, and I'll help you out some more. We're just out of time. Back on the bright side, I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. Actually, we're going to hopefully have a guest at the bottom of the hour. Sarah, we're still trying to get a hold of Sarah Salati. She's going to be talking about, if we get her, she'll be talking about EECP, Enhanced External Counter Pulsation. Hopefully we can get to her because it's kind of an interesting therapy. EECP, you can Google it. There's stuff on the internet. There's YouTubes on it. And it's kind of a cool little idea. They put you in a little wrapped up sort of a rubber jacket kind of thing, and send pulsations through this device and into your body, and it. I don't know this for a fact, but Sarah will tell us about it. But it seems like it would help improve circulation and zeta potential energy, the flow of electrical energy. It's all about hemodynamics, folks. It's all about the flow of fluids, as we talk about on this program all the time. Health is plumbing. And this is kind of Drano for the circulatory system. I guess we got Sarah on. Sarah's the CEO of this company that has this device, and she's got all kinds of testimonials. But you know what? Just understanding the science of it, you don't really need testimonials. It makes perfect sense. At least to me. We'll let Sarah Salati talk about it. Tell us all about it. Sarah, you there?
I am. Good morning. Thank you so much. So excited to be with you, Ben.
Thank you. I'm excited to have you on. I love your device. We talk about the whole idea of fluid, of flowing, of movement through the body, of flow through the body. And even though you don't necessarily say this specifically, I imagine that's what your device does. So why don't we get right into it? Actually, tell us about yourself. You're a business lady. So how did you get involved with this? And then we'll get into exactly what EECP is.
Absolutely. I'd love to do that. I am a nurse by trade. 1,000 years ago, went into nursing thinking that that's what I wanted to do. But after taking the pharmaceutical classes and everything that I was involved in nursing school, it kind of turned me away. In 1996, there was an ad out in the paper for an EECP nurse, and EECP was just FDA cleared in 1995. And there was only one center in all of United States, which was in Stony Brook, New York, and there was another center in Newport Beach, California, where they had just opened up and put an ad, and there I walk in, see this device, and it was love at first sight because everything that resonated inside of me was about how can the body heal itself. And
Nice.
Working in cardiology and working and watching people get bypass surgery, getting stents, having heart attacks, I had almost become numb to the whole idea of how can I help people, because all I saw was a repeat heart attack after the stent or a repeat heart attack after bypass surgery. And at that time, about 6 years prior to that, I became a vegan. So working in the whole medical industry was very challenging for me. So this was a perfect opportunity for me to step into something that was brand new for the whole entire world and kind of figure it all out. So I am considered a pioneer in the field of EECP. It has been 22 years, and I would love to share with the audience, what the power that the human body really has. I mean, this device is incredible, but the human body is on a whole nother level because it's the body that really heals us through the process when we get EECP. So EECP actually stands for Enhanced External Counterpulsation, and it was invented in Harvard, believe it or not, in the 1950s by a genius man named Birtwell. And at that time, we did not have bypass surgery in the United States. We did not have stenting, and we did not have blood thinners. So when you were having a heart attack, you were having a heart attack, and there wasn't really much that we could do. So this steel casing, if you could imagine, it was a steel casing that was in the lower extremities that was put on the person while they were having a heart attack, and it was a water hydraulic system that with water pressure, it moved the blood from the lower extremities and delivered the blood during the time when the heart was resting, during the diastolic phase, the resting phase of the heart. And it would deliver the blood from the lower extremities into the coronary arteries and save the person from having chest pain. I mean, obviously, when we're having heart attack, is that we're not getting that blood to the heart, and that's what this device did.
Sarah, excuse me, was this an internal device that this Harvard guy, or an external?
Yeah, it was an external device, but I know what you're thinking, and you're right, because the internal device, which is the aortic internal balloon pump, came from this theory. So this was the original external device, and it was water hydraulic. And so the 70s came around, and so the Chinese took the machine and they perfected it from water to air sequential squeezing, what we use today. And in China, they used this therapy for anything that was circulatory, which basically everything that we need to improve in our life, which is prevention and reversal of any disease, has to do with really two main factors: improving circulation and reducing inflammation.
Nice.
And that's what this device did. But there was no clinical trials. They just put a lot of patients on the machine, and it had a success rate. And it wasn't until the late 70s the Americans went back, grabbed the machine, and it got its first FDA clearance in the 70s for cardiogenic shock and acute MI, basically meaning if you're having a heart attack, you want to be on this device because it saves the heart muscle. And in the 70s, the doctors remember using this machine in the ambulances and in the emergency rooms. At that time, there was bypass, but there was no blood thinner. So this was an ancillary therapy for while people were having heart attacks, get their heart muscle, oxygenated blood, and let's get the bypass team together. So again, it was very, very successful for that stage of heart disease or heart attack. It wasn't until 1995 where University of Stony Brook, a brilliant man that was actually with Birtwell in Harvard, he was his last fellow, Dr. John Huey, went to China, grabbed the machine, brought it to University of Stony Brook, and they did their first clinical trials with EECP. And it was hard to be double-blinded because you actually have to be on a device. And so it was really considered a blinded study, not double-blinded, where half of the patients got pressure 1 and the other half of the patients got pressure 4. And pressure, by that, I mean how tight do we squeeze the lower leg. So the way that the treatment looks now is, if you could imagine, you're laying down on a comfortable bed and 3 blood pressure cuffs, heavy-duty blood pressure cuffs, are wrapped around your calves, your thighs, and your buttocks. And to the rhythm of your heartbeat, when your heart is at rest, these blood pressure cuffs start to squeeze the lower extremities and move all the blood from the lower legs and fill up the coronary arteries when the heart is resting. So when the heart goes to pump again, it realizes that there's all this blood delivered to it without it working. So in essence, you're decreasing the workload of the heart, but you're increasing circulation and you're decreasing the blood pressure. It's a very, very
It's like an external heart in a way. It's like an external heart or external diaphragm or something.
It is. That's why they call it external counter pulsation, because it's counter pulsing during the resting phase, and it's all being done externally. Yes, you're absolutely right, Ben.
Now, hang on. So I imagine you change the electronics and the wave nature and the harmonics and the resonance and all that, frequencies and all that inside there too. Has that ever been measured?
Well, what actually, the machine will always pump during diastole, which is the resting phase of the heart, but what we do as clinicians is we time it to the resting phase. And so they've done so many things to measure the heart, and we can get into that as far as...
We got to take a break, Sarah. We'll get into it when we come back. We're talking to Sarah Salati about her device, Enhanced External Counter Pulsation device. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back right after this. All right, we are back on The Bright Side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We're on the air Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Pacific and 10 to 11 Central Time, 24/7 on our archive pages at benfuchsarchives.com and brightsideben.com. We're talking to Sarah Salati about her Enhanced External Counter Pulsation device. Sarah, before we get into a few practical questions here, this counter pulsation idea, does that refer to the fact that it pumps when the heart is in the diastole or the relaxation phase? Is that why you call it counter pulsation?
Yes, correct. Okay. You're absolutely right.
Okay, gotcha. So why wouldn't you pump it with, and it's not, I know it's kind of maybe not relevant, but why doesn't it pump when the heart's pumping? Why does it pump when the heart's relaxing?
Well, because what we want to do, and that's one of the questions that everybody always asks, is that does the heart rate increase? Are we increasing the heart rate? Which we're doing the opposite. So with every squeezing mechanism of the device, it fills up the coronary arteries with the blood, and then the next time the heart goes to pump,
it has more blood. It
has more blood. So that's where the safety mechanism and actually the whole magic of EECP occurs, because we're lowering the heart rate, we're lowering the blood pressure, we're increasing massive amount of blood flow through the whole entire arterial system. Yes.
That's so awesome. And I know you're talking about it for cardiovascular health, but it's probably important for everything, just as anti-aging strategy.
You are absolutely right on it. It is, and that's what I fell into. And so in 1996, when it finally got FDA approved, when they treated these patients at Stony Brook, these were considered end-of-life patients. They had had bypass, they had had stents, they had had heart attacks. They were on maximum medication, and they were having chest pain with minimal exertion. So they had nothing else that the medical system could give them as far as chest pain and heart attacks were concerned, and they put them on the counterpulsation device. And the people that got pressure 4 had an 85% improvement in quality of life, chest pain, and they actually saw collateralization. So the whole entire thing with EECP has to do with angiogenesis, the creating of new arteries. In the lining of the artery is all of the magic and the good stuff, endorphins, gases,
VEGF. Are you familiar with VEGF?
Yes.
Yeah.
VEGF, yep. That's exactly
VEGF,
vascular endothelial growth factor. And when you are squeezing the lower extremities with EECP, we are stretching the endothelium. The endothelium is the lining of the artery. And when we stretch that reverse shear stress that we give, and it's not just for the coronary arteries like you just mentioned, we are secreting nitric oxide, which is incredible for vasodilation. That's why EECP is so beneficial for people with hypertension, because really high blood pressure is your biological age. That's your number. We're only as old as our arteries. If we can keep our arteries bouncy, supple, and soft versus hard, stiff, and that's what EECP does, because it secretes NO to come out, and it vasodilates, and eventually it reverses arterial stiffness. And so when I was treating patients in Newport Beach, there was this incredible doctor. His name is Dr. Julian Whitaker. He was very advanced, in the 60s and 70s.
Is he still around?
Supplements.
Is he around?
No, he just closed down his whole center in Newport Beach about a few months ago. But he happened to be a doctor across the street. I didn't know who he was, and he started flooding me with patients with stroke, diabetes, and I kept calling Stony Brook and saying, well, this is not end stage there, and they would say, Sarah, this is only for end stage. But the doctor wanted me to treat the patients, and so little by little I learned how EECP was a regenerative therapy. It actually started to regenerate the organs that were not functioning. People that were diabetic were able to produce insulin from their pancreas. And I would always think logically and say, well, if you believe it grows new arteries for the heart, coronary arteries, why would it not work in the brain? Or why would it not
or the
work
liver or the digestive system or anywhere else?
Right. And if the heart, itself is going to regenerate, and so will the other organs. And that's exactly what it did. And so fast forward 22 years, we have been doing this treatment. We are the largest EECP center in the world. We are the most experienced, just because EECP has to do with a lot with how many clients are you going to treat, how much experience are you going to get. And, treating from Alzheimer's, we've seen benefits with memory. We've seen benefits with, like I mentioned, diabetes, renal failure.
Just feeling good, Sarah, just feeling good. You're talking about all these health challenges, and that's awesome. Of course, that's wonderful. But just feeling good, it seems like you would just feel good on that when you have the machine. You get more blood flow to your brain. You get more endorphins. It seems like everything would benefit, like just anxiety issues. That's awesome.
That's what happened, is I started seeing these patients get on the bed, and they were like 70 and 80 coming in walkers, and then they were getting away from their walkers, and they were like, my erectile dysfunction is better. I'm able to walk better. And I was 26, and I threw myself on the machine, and then I went for a run, and I have to tell you, Ben, I ran so fast. I thought someone had given me speed.
That is so
couldn't
cool.
believe
That's
it.
so cool.
I couldn't believe
How about first thing in the morning for coffee? Like instead of coffee, because a lot of the sluggishness is circulatory first thing in the morning. You've been laying down for right? So how about just like a pick me up, a quick pick me up, or even in the middle of the day? Well, why don't we all have these? We should all have these things.
We should.
I'm a fan. You think I'm a fan of it? I am a big fan of your device. So how do people?
Beautiful device.
Okay, so real quick, because we're going to run out of time here. So how about for cancer? First of all, have you seen anything? I mean, imagine it would work, support immunity. But have you seen anything?
Cancer can't really live in an oxygenated environment and an alkaline environment. And this therapy oxygenates, helps with
alkalinizes.
Alkaline, because you're circulating, and it's a reduction in inflammatory. It's huge for the lymphatic system. It has a huge benefit for increasing your immune system. So It's an anti-aging prevention and reversal therapy, and it's a quality
Everything.
of life issue.
Everything.
Yes.
And it's
Blood
not
flow,
because it's the
blood flow.
device. It's because of your body, like you say. It's because of the
Yes.
improving the circulation, delivery of oxygen, nutrients, electrical energy, everything.
I mean, the body knows, the body has this intelligence and knows it can grow new arteries if you can give it some blood flow. And
you're unlocking
that's
it.
what we're doing.
You're
Yes.
unlocking all of these things that are built into the body. It's just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So, how to, like, practically speaking, how do people? I mean, I hadn't heard of this machine until talking to you. How do people find out about it? How do people get a treatment? Are there practitioners? Is it just you?
Yes, there are. My center is called Global Cardio Care. So globalcardiocare.com. You can go on. You can ask to sign up for a free EECP session. We have people come in. We have a whole entire anti-inflammatory lifestyle that's attached to it, because we're not just going to give you a therapy and not teach you about what caused the problem or how to prevent any issues. So we have a whole prevention program attached to it.
Where are you?
We're in Los Angeles. We're in two centers in Los Angeles, California, on the west side, and one by LAX. And there are centers in the world that do EECP, but most of them, they do it for end stage of life. They don't think that EECP is supposed to be done for prevention. There is a huge controversy. This takes away bypass surgery. This takes away stents. This takes away pharmaceutical medications. This is why you haven't heard of it, because it's something that's been FDA cleared since 1995 to grow arteries. This should be front page news every day of our life. That's the best thing that I've ever heard, growing new arteries without having to have bypass surgery or stents. So Global Cardio Care, people can sign up and come and get a session. Even we have people from out of state, out of the country. They come and stay with us for a couple weeks, and they do about 35 sessions. So it's 1 hour a day, 5 days a week for 35 days, or you can do 2 hours a day for 3.5 weeks. And people come once a year, and they just get this tune-up with EECP in our program.
And how about cost? Like, what is it going to cost
It is
somebody?
covered by insurance for people that have heart condition, whether it's congestive heart failure, heart disease, heart attack, chest pain. That's all covered by Medicare and private insurances. For people that are wanting to pay cash, it's very reasonable. Our rates are only $150 an hour.
And can you come in for just like a one-time session? You probably benefit if you just want to get a quick pick-me-up kind of thing?
Even from one session, Ben, if you're ever in Los Angeles, you'll be my guest. Even from one session, it's lactic acid. You remove the lactic acid in the muscles. You remove the lactic acid from the heart, the brain. It's just pure oxygen. Everybody feels like they are high after the treatment because they've got all those endorphins coming out.
I can imagine. Oh, my God. I want to do it right now. That sounds awesome. I'm telling you, I can totally get it, and it's great. And I don't say that about a lot of stuff. I'm usually pretty skeptical, but this sounds like the real deal to me. Hey, Sarah Salati, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Give your website out real quick. Your website.
globalcardiocare.com. Sign up and come and get a free EECP session and see what our program is. We can definitely help people with quality of life.
Thank you, Sarah. Good to talk to you. And thank Mark for his persistence. Appreciate that.
Thank you so much, Ben. Have a great day. Thank you.
You too. Good to talk to you. All right. That was Sarah Salati talking about her enhanced external counterpulsation device. And I'm a big believer. I have never done it, but the theory makes perfect sense. And I could see why it would work. If you're dealing with any kind of health challenge, you might want to look into that. Sarah Salati. Just Google Sarah Salati. There's a lot of YouTubes on her. Soulati. Thanks for listening to The Bright Side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Have a wonderful, beautiful, awesome, spectacular day. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye for now.